What's up, you guys? Welcome back and welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be installing some brand new seats onto the Tacoma. And then I'm also going to be telling you guys why I'm actually installing these seats anyway, since I know my truck is brand new. So you guys might want to stay tuned for this video so I can explain why I'm doing it. So let's go ahead and now get into the All right, you guys, so before we get into the installation, I wanted to kind of explain why I'm actually doing this upgrade. So first things first is, if you guys do have a 20 and up Tacoma, you guys do know the seats on this thing, at least to me personally, they're pretty ugly. They're cloth. Doesn't make sense to me because it's like black on the outside and then gray on the inside. It just does not look good, especially if you guys do go off-road. You already know that light gray that's in the center, it's gonna get really dirty. It's gonna get nasty. And I know I do have seat covers over it, but it just bothers me still just thinking about it. And this company does make many different brands. I try to choose one that's both comfortable and also will still grip you in your seat when you guys are off-road. So keep that in mind. Make sure to check them out. They'll be in the description box below if you want to see all their seats that they do offer. You can get it for many different vehicles. All right, you guys, so now that I explained why I'm doing this installation, now you can kind of choose for yourself if you want to do this or not. Once again, mine, there's a lot of variables as to why I'm doing it. And overall, this thing just looks awesome, and you already know it's going to look good in the truck. And they're super comfy. So they do make different designs. Once again, if you want to check them out, they do make different color patterns. The ones that I do have specifically here, these are going to be the trail cab version. With the trail cab version, you can actually get a two-tone as well. But once again, as far as for me, I don't like that two-tone look, so we just went with all black. For yourself, you can choose anything you want. Another thing is you can also get this to be adjustable or not. So this one does have a reclining lever here, which I'll show you guys how that works exactly. I'll show you guys how to put it together. And then it's also going to have these brackets here, so that way you guys can go forward or backward just like a normal seat. So there's nothing to it. It's going to be super simple to install. But overall, these things are just awesome, and I can't wait to go on a test drive with these. Sitting in them, they're already super comfortable, and I can feel them kind of grab me right here. The factory Tacoma ones, they don't have this bolster as big, so it doesn't really grab you. And I already know off-road, that's gonna come super handy, especially when I'm at a 30-degree angle going sideways, falling off my seat. This is gonna keep me in there. So some more quick features on this thing is you can do some add-ons on it. You can also get an inflatable lumbar support, which of course, that would probably be handy for the driver's side. I probably wouldn't purchase it for the passenger side if I'm being honest with you, but that's awesome to know that you can still get that. I didn't get it on mine only because I didn't really need it or care for it. Another thing you guys can get is going to be some seat heaters. So if you guys do want some seat heaters, you can do that as an add-on as well. I just wanted something simple, functional, and clean, which is what I have here today. Another thing too, on these seats, you can get them with brackets. So with this one, I can retract it forward, backward. I can even move the back of it to go up or down. So depending on how I want to adjust it when I'm driving, if I'm off-road, on-road, or just want to be comfortable or sit like a gangster. So it just kind of depends how you want to do it. But there it is. Another cool thing about these things is they only weigh 24 pounds each. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a lot lighter than the factory ones. So there it is. You can deduct some weight by doing this. Yes, so the first thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is disconnect the negative of your battery. Reason why is because we are going to be disconnecting our airbags, and you don't want those things to deploy in your face or anything like that. So go ahead and disconnect it. Super simple. Go ahead and grab a size 10mm wrench or socket, anything like that, and disconnect the negative, which is the black one. Okay, so the next step, what you're going to need to do is locate which one is going to be the driver's side and which one's going to be the passenger side. So to find that out is on the seat, what you're going to want is look for the lever if yours has one, and you want this lever to be pointed outwards. For example, this one here is the truck. This is going to be the driver's side because it's going to be outwards. When you open up the door, you should be able to see it. Once you locate which seat is which, now up next, what you need to do is grab your brackets if you got the same ones as mine. And on this, it's going to tell you here specifically, it's going to either say PS or DS. So D/S means driver side, P/S would mean passenger side. So now I've located the driver side bracket. So the next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and grab your bracket. You're going to need to open this up, pull it forward all the way. Once you have it pulled out all the way, you're going to want to go ahead and get your driver's seat, flip it on its backside. There's going to be a set of 4 bolts with an Allen key. You're going to see here, there's the Allen key. You want to go ahead and remove all those 4. Super simple, nothing hard about it. Make sure not to lose these because you are going to need them. The screws out, here's the bracket. You're going to notice there's a hole there. hole in the center and a hole here. I'm going to be placing it on this forward hole there. So we'll line it, and you don't want to tighten this down all the way. You're just going to get them hand tight for now, so just kind of get them started. The reason you want to leave these loose is because you might have to adjust it right now when we do the back side. But once you have those in, you're going to need to go ahead and open up the bracket and slide it back now. Slide the seat all the way back on the bracket. Now should be able to align the holes. Now that you got the bracket in its place, go ahead and now get your Allen key once more and go ahead and tighten these things down. Make sure you do all 4 corners. All right, you guys, so now that you have this secure, go ahead and lift your seat up. And up next, what we're gonna be doing is working right here on the handle. For the tool in this section here, you're gonna wanna go ahead and get a Phillips head. That's what's gonna be required to put this together. So inside the package, you're gonna get a set of 2 of these covers, you're gonna get a set of 2 handles, and you're gonna get a set of 6 screws. So you're gonna have to locate which goes to which. So noticing right here at the bottom, here's the cover. At the bottom, there is a hole. What you're gonna need to do is locate which goes to which. For example, we're working on the driver's side. So here is the hole. It's gonna need to be downwards. And here is an open slot, which is where the handle is going to go. Slide it right over. So you're just gonna have to kind of play with it, maneuver it around. And once you have it in, inside the back here, you're gonna have a little tab, and that tab is going to need to slide over this piece here. So it's gonna be hard to show you guys, but in person you should be able to see it. Slide that over. Make sure it's in its position there. Once it is, grab one of the screws, lift up on this handle, and this first screw is going to go in that hole there. Let's thread it in. Right here at the bottom, grab one of the screws, tighten it down all the way. Next, grab one of the handle covers, one more screw, and you're going to notice on the handles, there's going to be some grooves here, which is going to be for your hand. You want that in the downward position. Slide it right over, align the hole, grab the little screw, tighten that thing down. The hardest part of this installation is probably going to be this cover itself. It's not bad, you just got to play with it. Up next, you want to do the same exact steps you just did to this side, to the opposite side, and then we can hop inside the truck. For this next step, you're going to need to get a size 14mm socket or wrench. It just needs to be a size 14. Keep this in mind. Be careful when you're taking apart this seat because you are going to have extra wires. So what we're going to need to remove with that size 14 is going to be a bolt that's right here, and then coming inside the truck over here, there's going to be one more that's right there. And once you remove those 2, we'll go ahead and move to the back of the truck and back of the seat, and we'll show you guys the other 2. There's a total of 4 of those bolts locking down the seat. So let me do that now. So now moving in back of this seat, you're going to go ahead and remove your carpet, if it is in the way, to expose the other bolts. So let me show you what I mean. So right here, there's going to be a plastic here and a plastic on the other side. Go ahead and remove the plastic. There's tabs, so go ahead and expand it with both your hands, just like that. And then there's one on the opposite side right here. You're going to do the same thing. Take the plastic off. There's a bolt there and a bolt right there. Those are the same size 14. So now that you remove those 4 bolts, you should be able to slowly bring it up. So once again, be careful not to tear any wires. For me, I do have my amplifier down here as well, so I have to be extra careful when removing this. Let me show you what I mean. So for me, I do have to be extra careful only because I do have an amplifier down here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take down the amp really quick, and then we'll go ahead and start disconnecting the harnesses and go from there. All right, you guys, so the next step, you're going to need to remove this plug, and this plug, and it should just all have clips. And I will be honest, some of these might be a little harder than others, especially one-handed. I don't think I'm able to do it.
How do you unplug it?
It's hard, huh?
Yeah.
Once you disconnect those 3, now you can go ahead and remove the actual seat. You want to do it from the driver's side. You might have to angle it, but it should come right out. If I was you guys though, check how nasty this is. So I would go ahead and vacuum this out. It's pretty gross. All right, you guys, so really quick, let me show you guys. This is the factory one. Of course, it does have a rough country seat cover. That's why it doesn't look factory, but it is. And this is gonna be the brand new one. Right off the bat, you can tell the brand new ones are gonna hug you a lot better, like I was telling you guys earlier, because of these bolsters. They are really big, so it'll keep you in its place when you are off-road and off-camber. This one here, as you guys can tell, a little bit more straight versus that one. So it's gonna be awesome when we go off-road. All right, you guys, so now that everything is vacuumed up, everything's ready to go, here is the harness I was telling you guys to worry about. The yellow one is going to be your airbag. So one thing to take note on these new seats, your airbag light is going to stay on. As far as for me, I did purchase some resistors. I'm gonna hope that they fit and I'm gonna hope that they work, so that way the airbag light turns off. Now go ahead and grab your brand new seat. Let's bring it into the driver's side here. Slide it right in. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove the seatbelt buckle and the harness to it. So coming right over here is gonna be the seatbelt buckle. There's a big nut right there. So that one's gonna be a size 14 millimeter socket to go ahead and remove. So let me take that off real quick and then I'll show you guys. And make sure you don't lose that nut because we're gonna be reusing it along with this buckle. So once it's out, you're gonna notice there is a wire connected to it. So there's different ways of going about this. I would not suggest this first one that I'm about to say. You can chop it, install it in the truck, and call it a day. For me, I'm gonna try to save this whole harness. So you're gonna see it's kind of tied in back here. Best way to do it is getting a panel removal tool. I don't have that right now handy, and I don't feel like going to the garage to get it, so I'm gonna leave it as is. So I'm just gonna pull it off. It's just held in with tape. Those clips are not gonna be able to work on the new seat anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So it's pulled off with the tape. I'm gonna leave it dangling for now. You're gonna see here, it's held in with a clip. So what you could do is you could either try to remove this clip and take your time with it, or do what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get some scissors and literally chop this off. All right, so I'm just gonna chop it off. If you have wire cutters, it'd probably be a lot easier to cut this, but once again, there it is. So the next thing, it's gonna be held in right here. If you do have a panel removal tool, this part would actually help you. But I'm gonna do it with the scissors, there it goes. All right, so that part is out. And now you're getting to the fun part. So here's the harness, just keep following. It's gonna go in this way. Let me turn this around for you guys. So that harness actually comes around. There's an orange and a yellow wire that's connected to like a sensor. To get to that, it's gonna be super hard. You could either try to disconnect it from this side and just go ahead and call it a day, same thing, throw it in the truck with the harness disconnected. Or two, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this whole side panel apart so I can remove the sensor and still install it. So the first thing you're gonna need to do, if you come back here in back of the seat, if you come right here in back of the seat, grab your Phillips head, there's gonna be a little black screw. It might be hard to see it on the camera, but here it is. I've already unloosened it, so it's loose. So go ahead and take that off. Next, you're gonna notice if you have a Tacoma like mine, 20 and 20 and up, you're gonna have these switches here. I don't know the proper way to taking them off, but I'm never using them again. So I just pulled them off. Same thing with this one, pulled it off. Once you take it off the buttons, you're gonna notice there's a silver screw there, Get your Phillips head, just remove those. Gonna be holding in the whole plastic. If you don't take those off, this thing ain't going anywhere. Once that's done, right here in the front, it's clipped into this front piece. Just play with it, unclip it, and right here, you push back, and it should release. I'm not gonna pull it all the way because of course it's still connected to the harness there, but it's gonna expose this bolt. I know I've already previously loosened it, so it's a little bit off already. So what you wanna do is get a Torx bit that's gonna fit that. And one thing I would recommend, that bolt is really kind of seized on there. So what I did is when I put it on there, I grabbed something really heavy, maybe like a hammer, kind of hit this. Just that way, it's really in place. And when you're doing it, put some pressure down and unscrew it, because this screw is really hard. And if you mess up that head or strip it when you're taking it off, good luck, because I don't think that's coming off unless you cut it off. So there's that long bolt, and it should release the sensor. And once again, I mean, you can unclip it and go without the sensor, but you're probably gonna have that warning light, which I didn't wanna have. That's why I did it this way. Little longer steps, but way better. And now just unclip here and we should be done for the driver's side. Now that I have the sensor out, now we can feed it back all the way around. Now we have our seatbelt buckle. We're gonna go ahead and transfer this to the new seat. And you wanna do, of course, the same thing to the opposite side. We're gonna do kind of the same steps. It's gonna be a little different for the passenger side. Got that nut out, size 14. Once that's out, you're gonna see in the inside here, it's slightly different than the driver's side. Once again, what I was doing on the driver's side, I didn't wanna cut any harnesses, so I might as well just took everything out. Noticing here, we have one of those little white clips again. Just gonna cut it. And now up here, we have one more clip that we're gonna need to remove. Not strong enough, you guys, so things like this are a little bit harder for me, if I'm being honest. All right, so we got that off. Again, panel tool would come in handy right here. I'm gonna use my scissors as a panel removal tool though. Work with what I got. Okay, so this one is the passenger side one. As you see, it's just a harness. We now have the resistor installed. I'll link this in the description box below. Once again, not sure if it's gonna work or what it actually does. I just purchased it because I found it online, but you know how things go online. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's that. There's the harness. I have the seat in its place right now. Before we actually put the seat down though and put it where it's supposed to be, we're gonna grab those seatbelt buckles that we had just taken off. I'm gonna grab the driver's side, I know, because of that sensor. We're gonna go ahead and align this right about here. You're gonna see there's like a stud, and then there's this piece, which is technically a bolt that's welded in. Grab our nut. We're gonna tighten that bad boy down. So you wanna do this by hand first, and that's the nut that we had taken off from the factory seat. You're gonna need to reuse that. When doing this, what I'm gonna do, and this is up to you, you can either shift it down, up. I'm gonna just try to align the buckle with this bracket here as best as possible, and that's where I'm going to tighten mine down. Let me get my size 14 once again and tighten this bad boy down. Other end, we'll go ahead and connect it to this here. The only one we have left over is this one, which I want to say that's probably for the power seats. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that, but I think that's the power seats. So I'm going to leave that dangling for an amplifier back, which one day I'll mount it correctly how it was on the factory one, but for now I got things to do, people to see, things to eat, so I'm gonna leave it as is for now. Bring this back down. Go ahead and reinstall these seats. So that I got all my wires tucked, I'm gonna go ahead and align my brand new seat bracket to the mounting points of the factory Tacoma. Once you figure that out, now you grab the factory bolts that you had taken off, and you first want to go ahead and hand tie it in. So you want to hand tighten this one, and then the two on the rear. Once you have them hand tightened, then you can go ahead and see if your seat needs any type of alignment, and then tighten all four down all the way to spec. So now that it's installed, before we actually tell them how it is, be honest, what do you think? Be honest.
They're pretty comfortable. They're pretty comfortable. They're for like what they are. They're pretty comfortable. I like them. I like them a lot. They're pretty nice. They'll keep you in your seat when you ever jump this thing. They'll keep you in your seat.
So we're gonna jump it.
We're gonna definitely jump it.
Are we gonna break anything again?
Maybe 50-50. We'll see.
I'll jump it if you jump yours.
All right, let's go.
Damn! Like, look at that. And he's super tall,
dude.
Hell yeah!
Perfect in this moment.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now that we have working seats in here, I'm gonna show you guys really quick. So of course we did lose our motor function, but at least I have it manual, so now I don't have to worry about it breaking. So it's gonna be just like the 19 and down Tacomas. The lever will be right here. You push up, you can go ahead and go forward, you can go backward, wherever you want. And then looking right here on this lever, you can either go this way or go back. And once again, you can buy the lumbar support on this thing if you do want it. So that way you can go ahead and bring it up or bring it down. But as far as for me, I didn't care for that. I just wanted working seats. That was my main deal, and just good looking ones as well. Cool thing about these bad boys here, they have a nice look to them, and they're crazy affordable. If you don't believe me, check it out. It's gonna be in the description box below. I bet you anything, once you click on that link, you're gonna wanna go ahead and purchase yours, only because of that price point. And it's gonna be for 2 of them on that price point. You guys will see what I'm talking about once you click it. So now that I showed you guys quickly how to install this, let's go ahead and do the same exact steps to the opposite side. We'll start this thing up. We'll see if the airbags come on or not. and then we'll go from there. Here's the resistor. We've installed it, just clips in. Now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and put it right over the bolt, align it nice and straight, put that nut right through there. The same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down. Only difference with this passenger side, since I didn't remove the whole harness from the seat, this one is going to be dangling just like that. So if you have a zip tie, go ahead and zip tie it just so it doesn't get in the way of anything. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down, bolt the seat down. We'll turn the truck on, see if there's any sensors on. Now that we installed everything is in its place, torque down, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and now reinstall the battery once again. So put that down, grab your 10mm socket, tighten the bolt down. Once we do this, we'll go back inside and show you guys if the airbag trick worked or not. So overall, I'm super pleased with these. I now have working seats and good looking ones as well. Once again, check out the description box below if you guys do want to go ahead and purchase them. Down the road, we'll make a review video on these after we've taken them out off-road, after we've taken them out on like long road trips, on road, and we'll let you guys know what we still think about them. Off the bat, I like them though. So right now, since we did install those resistors, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the truck on and see if my airbag light turns on. If it does, it is what it is, but if it doesn't, once again, I'll link that little resistor in the description box below. So let me go ahead and start the truck and see if any lights turn on. Right. And it sure looks like it didn't work. Dang it. But I just wanted to show you guys, just so you guys aren't mad at me if you guys buy them and then you guys trip out on that. So just rather let you guys know now than later. And if you guys did enjoy today's quick little video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to follow my Instagram. It'll be linked right here. Let's go ahead and now get us to 20,000 followers on Instagram.
JesseRizo is here for you. It's here for you. Like I said, it's super simple. Please feel free to subscribe.